but that he's also purchasing a place in New York. The reason I don't immediately jump to, oh, that's it, it's done, is because when you have the wherewithal and the money that KD has and you're from the East Coast, it is reasonable to think that he might be buying a place in New York just to have a place in New York.
Yes, the Europeans, rich Europeans.
Yes.
They all have a place in New York.
Yes.
So that doesn't...
yes.
I think that...
But it's the timing.
It is the timing. Now, there's been a lot of Kevin Durant, Kyrie talk.
Yes.
You have any insight on Kyrie? Because 2 months ago, if I said KD,
yes,
you'd say Kyrie, KD.
Yes.
Okay, so they're both having weird endings to the season. What's the latest on Kyrie?
The latest that I've heard is that it's between Brooklyn and the Lakers.
Wow.
And I've heard that the Lakers and Kobe Bryant, now Kobe told me or indicated to me that he was not involved, that he was, hey, that's their deal. I'm not part of it. But I was told in the last 24 hours, Kobe has been busy recruiting Kyrie in particular to try to get him to the Lakers. Now, everything that I've heard, I would still expect that Kyrie is going to go to Brooklyn. That's the odds-on favorite.
Because he grew up in Jersey like the Nets.
And if we're going to continue our real estate, he just bought a place in South Orange.
Okay. So, where do you find out? Who's your realtor?
It's not realtors. It's people that know what they're doing business-wise.
So I'm not even, because we're going to go out to dinner tonight. I'm not even going to give you my address. Just find it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I don't care about where you're living. I want to know where you're going.
All right. So let me move into the before we get into the final stuff, because you cover the Warriors and the NBA. You live in the Bay Area. I theorize this.
Yeah.
That I have an agent, and I've had it not because I just need it because I'm negotiating against massive companies and lawyers. I need somebody to represent me. If my agent ever said, hey, as a company, I know it's getting terrible press and it's completely dysfunctional, but that's where I'm going to send you, I'd be like to my agent, I need a new agent. The Lakers story comes out today on ESPN.com. It's a circus. My takeaway is you have to engineer a trade to take back the narrative. If you can engineer a trade and get a Bradley Beal, LeBron Bradley Beal, then the narrative is, it's a little circus in the front office, but they got two guys. Because I think right now, the idea that article's out, and an agent's going to say, oh, it's a terrific landing spot.
Yeah.
I don't know, Rick.
No, I'm with you. And they do need to change the narrative, and getting a player to pair with LeBron would help change that narrative.
Yes, a good player.
But the ability to get that player, because even if you're trading, you need to work with other agents. You need to know that the players coming in want to be there and want to be part of this. And that's what they're fighting right now. And for me, this is for all of us who respect and appreciate what Jeannie Buss has done. This is from us to you, Jeannie. You need to step up and take charge of this franchise. Right now, there is nobody who is demonstrating who's in charge? Who's in charge? Who's making the decision? She was not quoted in the piece that just came out. She hasn't addressed any of this. And so you have a dumpster fire and you're looking at it saying, when is somebody going to take charge and say, yes, all this has happened, or this is what's being said, but this is how I'm going to lead you out of the fire. This is where we're going to go. There's none of that happening. So everybody looking at this summer who's making their plans on where they want to play and what they want to do are looking at this saying, I don't want any part of that. Like, what are my other choices? Exactly as you said at the very beginning. Why would I want to go to the Lakers?
So don't you have to engineer a trade? Like, let's say, I'll throw this. I love Bradley Beal. And I made the argument earlier, there's a lot of people in America who are really talented, but there's some sort of duress or chaos in an organization. Eric Ebron for the Lions, dysfunctional Lions, goes to the highly functioning Colts and becomes a Pro Bowler.
Sure.
Victor Oladipo, Westbrook's hard to deal with, put him in Indiana, make him the guy, he flourishes.
Sure.
I think Beal's numbers are good. I think John Wall can be difficult to play with, kind of an immature player initially. I'm not sure if he's the world's greatest backcourt tandem. Talented. I think Beal, with a high highly functioning LeBron would be a much better player. He's a really good player. Could he become Klay Thompson, where we're in the conversation of top 12, 13 guy in the league?
Right.
Washington would jump out to a team that would like a draft pick number 4.
Yep.
They kind of want to rebuild.
Yep.
If I said to you, what is a trade that just in the Ric Bucher mind of basketball you could make with this Laker team? You got 2 young forwards, both score 18. Lonzo on the 4 pick. What worked? That's not enough to get Anthony Davis, in my opinion.
No, it's not. You wouldn't have to give as much up. I keep coming back to Chris Paul. And apparently LeBron and Chris Paul have gotten together recently. They already have a connection. You wouldn't have to give quite as much up to get him because his feeling is that Houston has to hit the reset button.
You think Chris Paul?
Well, you asked what's realistic. That to me is realistic. If I'm the Wizards with a player like Bradley Beal, I'm not only trying to get off of that, I'm trying to get off of John Wall's contract. Now, how much money can you take back? And what can the Lakers give me? Because Bradley Beal is an established star in this league. Whatever I'm getting at the number 4 pick, I don't know that.
Yeah, but if you give me Kyle Kuzma a 4, Kyle averaged 18, number 4 pick.
You're trying to talk. See, you're trying to talk me into this.
Lonzo, Kyle Kuzma, and the 4. That's not worth Bradley Beal for a team that wants to rebuild. That by number 4 pick is that point guard from Vandy.
For as good as Bradley Beal is, I would think that I could do better.
Wow.
Look, this is the biggest thing is that when you have a guy who is established that he's capable of doing what Bradley Beal is doing, and you know that he's been in this kind of, don't want to say toxic, but in this difficult circumstance, everybody's seeing that too. If I pair him or I get him out of this situation, man, he's going to blossom.
So everybody sees it.
So everybody's looking at that saying Bradley Beal would be a great get. And as the great Don Nelson once said, all I'm looking for is a rich man in trouble. Ted Leonsis right now is a rich man and he's in trouble. He needs to make a decisive move, largely because of that John Wall contract and the possibility that he's all done.
Ric Bucher, senior writer, Bleacher Report. All right, 2 things. KD's traveling with a team. What's that mean? He's going with him to Toronto.
So there's 2 ways to look at this. One, either it means that he's close, because normally you would stay home and you would continue to rehab.
Yeah.
So this was almost like, well, wow, if he's going, maybe he's almost ready and he could play in game 2.
So game 1's Thursday, game 2 Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Okay, so, I mean, if he left today.
Right. From everything I've heard, I'm inclined to believe the latter. He's going just to be there and to be present and to be part of it, not because he's ready to play. I do not expect to see him play in this series.
Oh, and none of it.
Oh, I don't expect. Wait, look. When this originally happened, I was told and said that it was going to be 3 to 6 weeks. Then the Warriors came out and said it's more serious than we originally thought, which leads me to believe it's closer to the 6 weeks than it is the 3 weeks. 3 weeks is tomorrow from the date of the injury. So now we're talking another 2 weeks. The series is going to be over. Game 6 is in 2 weeks from Thursday. So I just don't see a way in which he's going to be able to get back and play in this series. And I would think the same with DeMarcus Cousins.
Wow.
I don't think either one of those guys are going to play in the series.
So this is small ball for 10 days.
Yes.
2 weeks.
Yes. Which I believe is going to make the series more interesting than people.
So let's go to your prediction.
I'm saying the Warriors in 6, but I would love 7. And I think it's going to be, I'm hoping, I mean, this might be wishful thinking, but I believe it can be a competitive 6 games.
By the way, the Maverick team that beat the favored Heat with 3 stars had a good coach, crafty veterans, go-to star, no indecision, end of possession, end of game, and they'd beaten them twice in the regular season. And they faced a team in Miami that had some drama. Isn't that the Warriors now? 3 stars?
Oh, no drama.
You don't think this KD thing's a little drama?
No drama. No drama. I've been around them. I've talked to them. They are as locked in. And by the way, Steph Curry on his left hand has 2 little pieces of black tape. And I saw him shooting the other day. He was in a zone. He was shooting left-handed 12-foot floaters and dropping them with his injured hand. I think he's dialed in. I think they see the finish line.
How's Iggy's health?
Iggy's physical health is great. His Like, he's had a lot to carry as far as keeping this team together. Like, for example, the whole Klay Thompson thing, not being named All-NBA. He's not upset with the $30 million. He's upset over the idea that you're saying that there's 6 guards in the league better than me.
A little chip on the shoulder.
And so what happens is that can kind of veer a guy in wanting to prove something. This is not time to prove anything individually. And Andre has been one of those guys in the locker room who's always made sure that everybody stays on the same page.
Livingston, Iggy are going to... This 9 days helped Golden State more than Toronto.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, it's... And starting on the road. Steph pointed this out to me the other day. He goes, this is the first time we'll go to the finals. We'll start on the road. We got to get on a plane to start. And we're not playing in Cleveland. And they were so used to, this is our hotel. These are the restaurants. This is how long it takes to get to the arena. This is what the arena feels like. I mean, it was a second home for them. This is going to be completely different. That said, I believe it's exactly what they need. Because I think if they were starting in Oracle and they're looking at the Raptors, they'd give away a game. They would. It's just been their tendency all year long. I think having to start on the road, they're going to be more dialed in than they normally would.
Good seeing you, buddy.
Good to see you.
Tonight, we got to go get some fish.
Sounds good.
Ric Bucher and I. Seattle kid, Bay Area, fish
Gotta
night.
be fish.
Joy with the news.
No.